Would you guys like to win one of 2 copies of Destiny 2 on any console of your choice? Leave a like on this video, subscribe if you guys are new around here, and check the Gleam link in the description below. Oh, what is going on, guys? Quality XA here today, and today we are covering a brand new interview from Heavy, actually interviewing Deej. So it is a really awesome interview. I urge you to check it out for yourselves. The links are in the description below, and let's start off and kick this interview off. So one of the first questions is, the Cabal was a faction that players had minor interactions with in the original game. Why make them the main villains of Destiny 2? And Deej replied, I think just for that reason. The Cabal represented one of the untold stories, and we have been scouting parties on Mars, a couple of brothers in the Taken King, but the Red Legion represents the tip of the spear for their galactic professional military. We wanted to raise the stakes. We wanted to give the Guardians an enemy that was more aggressive than anything they have ever fought before, and this is an opportunity for us to bring the attack to Earth. The Cabal are here to steal the Traveller for themselves, to claim its light, to claim its power. So pretty awesome. I'm actually glad that the Cabal are our enemies. Now, as you guys know, they are actually pretty hard to face, in my opinion, compared to the others. Their shields obviously are so annoying, and I really love the updates and how they have justified the Cabal, and I really cannot wait to find more about Ghoul, or Gary as everyone calls him at the moment, and the Red Legion itself. The next question is actually pretty interesting and about puzzles. So Heavy said this: what some people might not know is there are some pretty serious puzzles in the first Destiny. Are you looking to integrate them into more of the core game, or are those strictly for raids and side quests? And Deej replied with this: I think there is definitely time for those sorts of things. Solving riddles, working together to solve puzzles is definitely an aspect of the Destiny player experience. One of the things we wanted to do is make raids more accessible. There are plenty of people in our community who have never played a raid. So to suddenly take all of those things out of the raid and scatter them across the entire landscape of the game would probably create a barrier for certain people to even finish the game and not understand Destiny. So what we want to do is bring more people to the raids. That's what guided games are all about. To take the landscape of the clan system and make it accessible by the solo player who can go through a directory of clans that would be willing to take them on as a reinforcement and guide them through the complexity of a raid. We are doing some interesting things with public events where they would have heroic modifiers. So you're playing a public event with a bunch of people you've never met before, and the more you engage, the more you double down on that public event. The more complex it might become, the better rewards will become. I don't think we would take something as enjoyable as a campaign mission and all of a sudden turn it into a puzzler. Then the solo casual player who just wants to go in and blow some stuff up and see some fantastic art that transports their imagination to a strange new world to interrupt that experience and go, do you know what binary code is? So Deej is kind of right here. I really like what they are doing. So they still want to keep the puzzles in the harder stuff or the end game, such as a raid. So maybe when you guys join a clan with guided games, or find a game with some new people, should I say, who have already done the raid, they will help you do the puzzles and help you do all of these Easter eggs to get these special weapons, or even just finish the raid itself. But what they don't want to do is put stuff like binary code into solo player, have puzzles, have really hard mysteries that people will struggle to solve by themselves. It makes sense, and I do think that that is good, as I don't really want to do binary code just to play a campaign mission. Next up, Heavy said this: for Sherpas and people looking to carry kindergartens through content, are you looking to reward them for helping others? And Deej replied with this: are you a member of a clan? You'll find that being a member of a clan is extremely beneficial. Every member of your clan will earn rewards as you do things, and the more things you do, the more you will be rewarded. One of the biggest obstacles to do the doing is getting 6 people together to do it. So many clans will say, yeah, we're going to raid last night, but 2 people didn't show up last minute, and I'm pretty pissed about it. Now, guided games will open your doors, so the clans, from an emotional standpoint, are going to be the leaders of this new community. You're going to be the ones that introduce solo players to the glory that has always eluded them. You'll understand the clan progression and the clan reward system when you play. I'll leave that to the social designers to break you into the game. The fact that clans are more accessible in the game, you know, we used to give people free real estate in our community, on our website and in the Destiny companion. Somebody who wants to become a digital warlord can go in and say, I'm starting my clan, I'm inviting people to come in. Now that experience can exist away from the second screen, and they can, inside of the game, facilitate recruitment. I think that's really one of the biggest benefits of guided games, is how are we to find people to join our clan? If you just put yourself in the guided games directory, they will come right to you, and they will give them a test drive in a raid, and if you like them, send them a clan invite right there. So it looks like there are some pretty cool features in the guided games, and I really enjoy this. It just brings the community together as a whole. You might meet some new people, as well as find some new raid members to have that weekly raid with. And the good thing about this is once you build your clan up quite a bit, you can start getting, I don't know, 3 or 4 teams on at the go. And the more you play as a clan in different teams, the more clan rewards you're actually going to get. Meaning more emblems, more shaders, possibly even ornaments or loot. Anything what you guys can imagine we can get from this clan reward system, depending on what the rewards are. But yeah, really cannot wait for guided games, and I really cannot wait to make and meet some new people, even subscribers. Will be pretty awesome indeed. The next question from Heavy is this: when it comes to bosses, is Destiny 2 looking to introduce more unique mechanics that are tied to those specific strikes? Deed replied, strike bosses are certainly more elaborate than like a campaign mini-boss, and you know, raid bosses are the ultimate enemies. Figuring things out while you play is really essential experience in playing Destiny. Sometimes brute strength is required, sometimes an interesting combination. Oh boy, I almost just spoiled something. So it looks like there are going to be different techniques and different mini puzzles to actually take down bosses in strikes, which is really good. Let's take the Shield Brothers strike for an example. You had to kill 2 different strike bosses, but you had to do something obviously different to kill the second one, where you had to go on the inside of the bubble to actually do damage, whereas when you go outside of it, you can't do damage to him at all. Pretty cool, and I'm expecting to see a lot more different ways of killing strike bosses. And now we have the last question, which is actually quite a long answer, but regardless, we're going to do it anyways, and it's quite an interesting one. For the raid and the other post-game content, what are you looking to offer players that have already completed the story? Deed replied with this: specifically relative to the raid, that is an excellent question. Beyond the campaign, once the last cinematic plays out, I think you're going to find a lot more variety. When you're in a destination, you open the map, and the map will be littered with all these different things you can do. You can go on adventures that tell you more about those destinations and the characters you'll discover in those places. You're used to walking up to a character in the tower or in the social space like the Reef or Fellwinter Peak, but you'll actually walk up to characters in destinations and interact with them. So they will put on this map different things like adventures or lost sectors. There are more things to experience part of the endgame aside from the raids, aside from the Nightfall, and you know, Crucible endgame activities. There are things you can do in the world to expand your understanding of those places or get rewards. Public events that you can see around the map, you'll know when they have begun instead of people literally wandering around the world of Destiny hoping a public event would start, or crowdsourcing together to figure out a map. This will be a function that is served in the game. So many things where people were dropping the controller and picking this up, holds up a smartphone, are now in the game. So I'm just going to stop you there before I read the rest of this out. I thought that was really good that they are making the public event more accessible. You don't have to go around searching on the internet going, oh, what time does this public event start? You can literally look at your map and it will tell you how long before that public event starts, or if you're in the area, it will actually notify you on your map or your screen. Pretty cool. And I've heard that there are going to be some really good rewards from these public events, and also lost sectors, adventures, so all of that stuff is definitely worth doing. And also it looks like Deej is almost saying that there are going to be more activities even when you complete the game. So it does look like Destiny 2 is jam-packed full with content, and guys, I really cannot wait. And then the last paragraph reads this: you're going to learn more about the story in the game, you're going to understand when the public events start in the game. You're going to be able to interact with other players and manage your clan in-game. And what we want to do is immerse people's minds in the world of the game and not to force them to leave to make their experience complete. I think you're going to find, even independent of the raid, that there's far greater variety of things to do to enjoy your Guardian's lifestyle after the final cutscene has played out. So pretty awesome. Like I said, there's pretty good information here, and I think what Destiny and Bungie have done really well here is kept people from leaving the game. In Destiny 1, as you guys know, you had Grimoire cards, and you actually had to go to their website to find out what these mean and look into lore. Whereas what they have said about this game, and with that last paragraph, is that lore is going to be more in the game. You're going to get clans in the game. Everything you want is going to be in the game rather than going to the Bungie website per se. So very interesting, but that is the end of the interview, guys. There's also a lot more questions. As you guys know, I usually pick out the better ones. So I'm hoping you guys did enjoy this video. Smash that thumbs up button if you did. And as always, I can't wait to see you guys in the next one. A link is in the description if you'd like to check out this interview. Peace out.